Hey, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be looking at lesson 2.7 in our Go Math books. If you want to go ahead and get that paper, you can pause the video. It's pages 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, and 116. So when you come back, we're going to be talking about our essential question. The essential question today is, what are 3 ways to write 3-digit numbers? So that's a number with ones, tens, and hundreds. Remember that as we go through these problems. So the first number we're going to look at is a 3-digit number, 426. So let's write that number out, 426. Now, what I want to look at first is a way to write this in place value form. So place value form means I need to show how many ones, how many tens, and in this case, how many hundreds we have. So when I look at this, I want to square off my ones. My ones are always all the way over to the right. 6 ones. So I'm going to put that in right here for 6 ones. We have 2 tens. 2 tens written right there, 2 tens. And we have 4 hundreds, 4 hundreds. Now the next one I want you to try is a little bit tougher. This number is 304. I want you to write this down, pause the video, and try to write it in right there in our place value chart. Welcome back. If you wrote 4 ones, 0 tens, and 3 hundreds, pat yourself on the back. You did a great job. Now, we are going to move on to the next page. So everybody turn, please, to page 112. Let me make sure that I can do that. All right. Good, great, grand, wonderful. So what we are going to be doing now is we're going to be practicing with quick draws. Now, quick draws, and also we are going to be working at the place value form. So when we look at those things, we are going to be searching for a total number. So right here we have the standard form of that number, 536. Now, if we were looking at our place value chart, we would have 6 ones, 3 tens, and 5 hundreds. If we did it in expanded form, we would be looking at how much each number is worth. So how much is this 6 worth? 6 ones. How much is 3 tens worth? 10, 20, 30. So we'd write our 30 in there. And then how much is the 5 worth in the standard form? There are 500, so 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So our expanded form is 500 plus 30 plus 6. And then our our quick draw, we use squares for the hundreds. Each one of these is worth 100. So how many of these do we have to draw? If you wrote down 5 or if you thought 5, you are absolutely correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now how many tens are in there? 3, 10, 20, 30. And then how many ones did we draw? Over here I see 6 ones, 6 ones, and 6 ones. So we have to draw 6 ones. And if you see, they did them in groups of 5. Remember, I always want you to be doing these in groups of 5 when you're showing your ones. That way, it's easier to count them or to tally them up when you are done. So if we look down a little bit further on our paper, let me just scroll down with my fancy schmancy marker. All right. We have right here the word form. The word form. So I want everyone to read it with me. 407. So now I'm thinking to myself, how many ones are there? How many tens are there? And how many hundreds are there? So I'm going to draw it out, or you know what? I'm going to write it in standard form first. I feel like that's the easiest. 407. So I'm going to write it right here in the standard form. I know there are 4 hundredths. Did I say any tens? I didn't say any tens. 407. I keep on repeating it to myself. 407. All right. So now I made sure that I held the place value of the tens with a 0 because I always want to have a number represented. So when we look above, I'm going to say, okay, this 7 is worth 7 ones. The 0 is worth 0 tens. And the 4 is worth 4 hundredths. Now let's do it in place value form. I have 7 ones. Look at our pattern. 7, 7, 7. 0 tens. And 4 hundredths. Make sure you don't put in these zeros up here because it already tells you the hundreds there. 4 hundredths. Now I want you to pause this video and do a quick draw for it. I'm going to do the quick draw for it now, and you can check your work. Let me slide over, and I'm going to draw my 4 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hundredths, no tens, and now I'm going to draw my 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 more, 6, 7. Remember, I did my group of 5 ones together to make it easy for me to count. So I have 400, 5, 6, 7, 407. Now I'd like you to pause the video and I want you to do the next 2 numbers on your own. 325 and 253. All right, welcome back. It looks like all of you guys did a fantastic job, but I want you to look at my answers that I did here on the board and compare them to your answers. So the first thing I want to look at is 325. I drew 300, 2 tens, 5 ones. I wrote 3 hundredths, 2 tens, 5 ones. 300 plus 20 plus 5. 325. And I did the same for the bottom here. 2 hundredths, 5 tens, and 3 ones. 200, 5 tens, 3 ones. 200 plus 50 plus 3 equals 253. If you guys did that, give yourselves a good pat on the back. If not, I want you to rewind the video a little bit, pause it, and fix your answers, and then come back to me in a moment. All right, thank you so much for working so hard, boys and girls. Now, I want you to do numbers 4 and 5 on your own. Pause the video, do those on your own, and then come back to me because we are going to do numbers 5 and 6 together as a group. All right, numbers 5 and 6. So if we look at this, I'm going to be doing some writing down because I want to keep track of what I read. So this says, think of a 3-digit number with a 0 in the ones place. Use words to write that number. So I know I need a 3-digit number. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3. I know I need 3 numbers in this. The next thing I need is a 0 in the ones place. So I'm going to put a 0 in the ones place. Now, I want you to think of a number on your own. I'm going to think of my own number. If you need to use my number, that's okay. But I'd prefer if you used a number on your own. I'm going to say 240. So with that being said, now I need to finish the problem. It says write that number in words. So I need to write 240. 240. Now you might have 350. You might have 990. Make sure your spelling is as best as you can. If it's not spelled correctly, that's okay, as long as you're working your hardest. Remember, earlier in this chapter, we learned how to spell hundred. Hundred. I broke it up into 2 words, hundred. All right, now you can watch the Go Math video now if you go to Think Central, or you can let yours truly do it with you. So let's look down at the next problem, number 7. It says, Ellen used these blocks to show 452. What is wrong? Cross out the blocks and draw a quick picture of the missing blocks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to reread this problem and underline the important information. Ellen used these blocks to show 452. Ooh, what's wrong with it? Yeek. And then we're going to be crossing out blocks and drawing new blocks. So the first thing I want to do, I want to figure out what number she did. And then we're going to fix it. So I know there is 1, 2, 300 plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus 70 and plus 0 ones. And that's not 452. So let's look at the ones first. How many more ones do we need? 452. We need 2 more ones. So I'm going to draw those ones in. 1, 2. The next thing I'm going to ask myself, how many tens do we need? 452. 5 tens or 50. So I can have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We do not need these, so I'm going to cross them out. Now, my new problem, we have 2 ones, we have 5 tens or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and now I only have 300, but I need 452. So I'm going to have to draw one more square to get 400, 1, 2, 3, 400, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 2. 452. Boys and girls, that's a tough problem. If you want to rewind and watch this part of the video again, feel free to do so. Boys and girls, now's your opportunity to show what you know from lessons 2.1 all the way up to 2.7. Here is a quick mid-chapter checkpoint. I want you to do it independently, and then I want you to do the remaining 2 pages independently as well. Either have your parents, your babysitter, or whoever is an adult around that is maybe as smart as you at least. I want them to check your work, or you can bring it in to your teacher, and they can show you any mistakes and give you a nice big pat on the back for working so hard. Thank you so much for joining me. Good luck with math, and let us know if you have any questions.